We kick-started this series last week with a look at the 7 greatest Man City players of all time, and this week we're turning our attention to their near neighbours, Manchester United. The Red Devils are a footballing superpower, and this will undoubtedly prove to be one of the most difficult sevens of this series. It's important to note that greatness is defined by far more than mere talent or ability. Taken into account in these series are qualities such as impact, influence, longevity and success, as well as ability of course. I'll reiterate that fact because I anticipate some angry comments about Cristiano Ronaldo not featuring in this 7. Based on ability alone, Ronaldo would top this 7, but the Portuguese great spent only 6 seasons at Old Trafford, and only 3 of them were genuinely top class. Similarly, on ability alone, Duncan Edwards would undoubtedly feature here. As it is, both players made the honourable mentions. Here are our 7 greatest Manchester United players of all time. Denis Law. In 7th place, we start with Manchester United's 3rd highest and 2nd most prolific goalscorer of all time. One of 4 Ballon d'Or winning Manchester United players, Law picks up the prestigious individual award in 1964. A really intelligent centre-forward who was clinical in front of goal and tremendous in the air, Law spent 11 years at Old Trafford, where he scored 237 goals in 404 matches. Scotland's all-time record scorer, Law won 2 First Division titles, 1 FA Cup, and 1 European Cup with United. Bryan Robson. One could liken Bryan Robson's legacy at Manchester United to that of Steven Gerrard's at Liverpool. An all-time English great, Robson was a midfield colossus, a brilliant leader, and an even better footballer. He spent 13 years with Manchester United, the majority of which the club spent just outside of that elite bracket. A robust, tireless and talented midfield all-rounder, it wasn't until his final years at the club that Bryan Robson added a couple of league titles to his trio of FA Cup winners' medals and a European Cup winners' cup. A member of the PFA team of the century, Robson is so important to Manchester United as he helped maintain the club as ranking among the best in the country by continually dragging a less talented group up a level. Paul Scholes. In 5th place is a man who certainly did have a lot of quality around him during his time at Manchester United, yet nearly everyone who ever played alongside him maintains that he is the greatest of the lot. Paul Scholes spent his entire career, which totaled almost 20 years, at Manchester United. From a goal-scoring box-to-box player in his early years, Scholes eventually matured into being a world-class deep-lying playmaker, who could control games at a whim. The former England international is arguably the best passer of a ball in Manchester United history. He ranks 3rd in the club's all-time appearance charts, and he won 25 trophies at Old Trafford, including 11 Premier League titles and 2 Champions Leagues. Roy Keane. Making it a trio of central midfielders, you could make a case for Roy Keane being even higher in this 7. By every possible criteria, Roy Keane is a Manchester United great. You can say with some confidence that were it not for the presence of Roy Keane in the Manchester United dressing room for 12 incredibly successful years, the Red Devils trophy cabinet would look rather different now. Keane was in fact a sublime footballer. He played a simple game, but a hugely important one. He broke up play, kept the ball, and drove the team forward with remarkable consistency. The greatest captain in Manchester United history, for us, Keane is the single most important player in Manchester United's unprecedented domestic success over the last 25 years. He played 480 games for Manchester United, winning 17 trophies. George Best. Whenever George Best features in one of our 7s, you can guarantee that there'll be someone in the comments saying he should be first, and then someone else saying he shouldn't be there at all. When you look at it objectively, 3rd place is just right for Bestie. Another Ballon d'Or winning United player, Best is probably the most naturally gifted player to ever pull on a Manchester United shirt. For 9 of his 11 seasons at Old Trafford, he was utterly sublime, enjoying 5 20-plus goal seasons and 1 30-plus goal season from the wing. And yet, it was never his goal scoring that endeared him to football fans. It was his dazzling runs, wondrous technique, and supreme confidence with the ball at his feet. He won 2 league titles and a European Cup with the club. A footballing genius, Best was not without his demons, and sadly, his days as a top-class professional were over at 26. Had he enjoyed greater longevity, he may well have topped this 7. Ryan Giggs. Talking of longevity, in 3rd place is Ryan Giggs. In terms of sheer talent, few would argue that Giggs was more talented than Best. However, in the pantheon of Manchester United greats, Giggs' remarkable timelessness means he deserves 2nd place. If Best had spent as long at Manchester United as Giggs, then the two players would have been on the playing staff at Old Trafford at the same time. That is a quite incredible stat and goes some way to proving our point. By far and away Manchester United's all-time leading appearance holder, and by far their most successful player, Giggs made 963 appearances and won 34 trophies. Another PFA Team of the Century inclusion, Giggs began his career as a very quick and tricky left winger who left fullbacks for dead and delivered sumptuous balls into the box. As time went on, he transitioned beautifully into a creative and intelligent attacking or deep-lying playmaker. That transformation allowed him to spend 24 years in the Manchester United first team, which earns him second place in this 7. Sir Bobby Charlton. This was an incredibly difficult 7 to compile, but by far and away the easiest decision was to put Bobby Charlton top. First of all, we ought to address the omission of Wayne Rooney. England and Manchester United's all-time leading scorer, Rooney is possibly the most honourable of all the honourable mentions in this 7. But as ludicrous as it sounds, we don't think he was as irreplaceable as the 7 who featured here. That is to say, it would have been easier for Sir Alex Ferguson to find a new Wayne Rooney than a new Roy Keane. That being said, it was still incredibly difficult to leave him out. Moving on to Bobby Charlton, history is crucial to understanding why he comfortably tops this 7. A survivor of the Munich air disaster, that crash left the Manchester United team in ruins. Yet with Charlton as their talisman, they became English champions 7 years later and European champions 2 years after that. England and Manchester United's second highest scorer of all time, it's worth reminding people every now and then that Charlton was a midfielder. A tireless runner who breezed past opponents and could strike a ball with power and accuracy with either foot, Charlton won the Ballon d'Or in 1966 and was runner-up in both 67 and 68. Despite extraordinary adversity, he won 9 trophies at Manchester United, scoring 249 goals in 758 games in the process. So that's it for our top 7, but there should be some honourable mentions in the video description below. Thanks for watching, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to HITC Sevens.